He has traveled 500 international destinations in 86 countries.
In technology, and having a good product doesn't mean that you will be successful. I got bedsheets from Sholapur and went door to door to sell. When you're traveling, अगर उस गांव में airport है तो train मत. Sometimes opportunity is thrown at you. As an entrepreneur, I think you will have to take that risk. And you'll have to have that self-belief in you. You have to have that confidence in you that yes, I will do it. I worked with, I launched Indian Express. I launched Hallmark cards. I launched Kinetic Luna, Kinetic Honda, Videocon Audio. It's very easy to say, it's very easy to become a consultant, but walk the talk is very difficult. It hit me very badly. I said, that guy has a point. And I was on the cover of India Today and Business India.
हेलो दोस्तों, आज जो हमारे स्पीकर है उनका नाम है प्रकाश जी बंग। वेलकम प्रकाश जी।
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
तो अगर मैं प्रकाश जी का इंट्रोडक्शन करूं तो आप सर शॉक हो जाओगे कि क्या अचीवमेंट्स है सर के। एक तो प्रकाश जी मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटेजिस्ट है, मतलब ही हैज गॉट 55 इयर्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस इन मार्केटिंग फील्ड। मतलब 55 साल से वो मार्केटिंग और सेल्स कर रहे हैं अपने बिजनेस में, एंड ही हैज गॉट एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ 55 इयर्स। सेकंड, ही हैज बिल्ड so many brands in this last 55 years, and currently he is working as a business advisor. He is the founder of stuba.com, और जो stuba.com है उस कंपनी का अगर लास्ट ईयर का फाइनेंशियल टर्नओवर देखा जाए तो वो है 1600 करोड़। यस गाइस, आपने सही सुना है, 1600 करोड़। और सबसे मेन बात है that this company is debt free, zero debt, एक भी रुपए का लोन नहीं है इस कंपनी का। 250 एम्प्लॉइज काम कर रहे हैं इस कंपनी में आज इंडिया में और अब्रॉड में। और यही नहीं, सर ने 4 बुक्स लिखी है बिजनेस के ऊपर, हाउ टू डू बिजनेस के ऊपर। कितनी बुक्स लिखी है सर आपने?
4। अभी तो 4 हुई है।
अभी तक 4 बुक्स लिखी है एंड कंटिन्यू, ही इज स्टिल राइटिंग। और 72 बुक्स ऑन ट्रैवल। सर 72 बुक्स कैसे?
See, since I'm associated with the travel industry as marketing के लिए and you travel. So when I travel, I make it a point that after my business is over, meeting is over, I just don't come back home. I would like to spend the weekends traveling, exploring destinations, taking pictures, and then I document my travels, which I convert them into books. And super. Yeah, that's right.
So guys, you'll be actually surprised when you will come to know how much he has traveled. He has traveled 500 international destinations in 86 countries. मतलब 500 प्लस सिटीज इन 86 कंट्रीज। सुपर्ब सर। मैक्सिमम लोग सपना सोचते हैं कि हम एक कंट्री मतलब दुबई जाएंगे या यूरोप जाएंगे, उनका एक कंट्री का सपना होता है, एंड यू हैव ट्रैवल्ड 86 कंट्रीज। दैट इटसेल्फ इज एन अचीवमेंट, एंड आई एम थिंक श्योर दैट 72 बुक्स इज सुपर्ब, क्रेजी। यही नहीं दोस्तों, ही इज आल्सो लिम्का बुक रिकॉर्ड होल्डर इन राइटिंग द बिगेस्ट ब्लॉग। In 2014, he has created that record, and in his 55 years of career, he is widely featured in lots of media like newspaper, magazines, head cover of the magazine, so many times. So, welcome once again, Prakash sir.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
So, starting with, can you first tell us what's your hometown and how was your childhood journey?
Okay. So hometown speaking, it's in Shahapur, a small little town in Karnataka, near Belgaum. So like all Marwadi families, we also migrated to Belgaum some 140, 150 years ago.
Correct.
But that's about it. Thereafter, my father, for his studies, he's a technocrat. He got his B in electrical, in mechanical, then industrial engineering from Columbia University, PhD from Wisconsin.
I think he was also sponsored by Indian government, right, for some education?
No, he was not sponsored. He was under a scholarship.
Yes.
Scholarship, yeah. So he did his research in engineering research abroad.
Okay.
And in 1955, he came back to India.
Okay.
And he joined Bajraj Trading Company.
Okay.
Which, for you to know, is today's Bajaj Auto.
Wow, great.
And that's where he designed the auto rickshaw, which you see today.
Bajaj Auto?
Bajaj Auto rickshaw is the
designed
primary.
By him, your father.
Designed by him, and yeah, that's right. So he was basically a technical person, and so we always in jobs. So he had his postings in various jobs in Mumbai, then in Delhi, in Faridabad to be more precise. So and I was like those days, when he was in Faridabad, so I was schooling all around.
Correct.
So first my lower KG was in Mumbai. Then my first standard was in Pune because in Faridabad there was no school.
Okay.
So he put me up in a hostel in Pune
So
when I
you
was
also
in first standard.
Okay.
And then from there, second and third I did in Sholapur.
Okay.
And then fifth, in fourth standard, the school happened in Faridabad. So my parents called me to Faridabad. And so fourth, fifth, sixth, I was in up to seventh standard in Faridabad. So that was 1968. Now in 1968, my father thought that, I'd worked all my life. So, enough of the job thing.
Correct.
So why can't I use my technology, my experience to do something on my own so that my children don't have to take up a job like I did.
Correct.
So nothing wrong in taking up a job. But then that he felt that, why not to be on his own? Absolutely. So in 1968, he came to Pune. So since 1968, we are in Pune. Now that was, I was in 8th standard and my father built up a factory.
Factory in Pune.
Now here's one thing, Dinesh, which I'd like to mention to your audience, that he was an engineering graduate, first class first, B electrical, B mechanical, MS in industrial engineering from Columbia, PhD from Wisconsin. So technically perfect.
Super.
So if you're so good, and he has got many patents under him. He has designed and fractional horsepower motors. Then the desert cooler is instrumental designing. The water heaters, what you see, again is one of his designs. So technically very qualified. So in 1968, he designed and developed a table fan, an 8-inch table fan, which used a fractional horsepower motor. And because he's not technically so sound, that he was confident that this product will sell. It didn't happen that way.
Correct.
And being from that the Gandhian thoughts and principles and to doing of calling spade a spade, but unfortunately those days it was license Raj, So at every stage, he was challenged. He wanted a loan, go to the bank. He had hiccups there. I wouldn't go into the details. Manager had his own issue. Then come back to the factory and the factory inspectors and the labor and all those kind of thing, and he just couldn't manage it. So Dinesh, I'm sorry to say that by 1972, he lost all his life saving. There was a debt on the company, and eventually in 1972, he had to close down the factory. I was in 8th standard. And one thing which my parents did, I will appreciate, is that they put us in a very good school. I was studying in Bishop School in Pune.
One of the best schools in Pune.
Absolutely, it still is. And my sister was in St. Mary's.
Wow.
So those schools, those days, used to cost my father 400 rupees a month per person.
That's huge.
That was huge. But so probably it came to my mind was that now I might have to leave this school. But somehow he persisted. He said, "नहीं मैं कुछ भी करूँगा, लेकिन बच्चों को अच्छी पढ़ाई दूँगा," which is I thanks to him. So he inculcated that thing of importance of education in us. Fair enough. So going back to the father thing, like I was telling you, just being very good in technology and having a good product doesn't mean that you will be successful in business.
I just was reading a book last week, E-Myth Revisited. So over there, the author has said about these things only. There are 3 kind of people: technical, managerial, and third is entrepreneur.
That's right.
So you need to have all 3 personalities inside you. But just having technical skills doesn't guarantee you will succeed as an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. What I'll add there, I'll use a very simple word: street smartness.
Correct.
Is very important, which unfortunately my father was not very good at.
He was very good in managing the work.
Technology wise, he was excellent. excellent product. The fans which we have at home is now more than 50, 60 years now. They're still working. They're still working.
Correct.
So, but
Correct.
we were not successful. It's as simple as that.
So when was the time you started learning sales and marketing?
That, Dinesh, exactly, that got into me. That so when I was in 8th standard, I realized that now to see myself through school, I don't want to be a burden onto my parents.
Okay.
I was a burden, but I want to see if
Contribute
I could contribute something to it. So I said, why not I go out and sell something?
Okay.
So in standard 8, when I was like 14 years old, my uncle in Sholapur had a factory who used to make Sholapur chaddars.
Okay.
Those days, the bed sheets, just as the bed sheets. So I got bed sheets from Sholapur and went door to door to sell chaddars. So that was my first experience, my first marketing, selling. You may call marketing is now I realize is a very big word, but to selling job. And you're going door to door, Dinesh, I would like to tell you, when you're going door to door, it teaches you a lot.
Correct.
I mean, slamming doors, barking dogs, hey, chal nikal, nahi chahiye, all those kind of things. So your ego is crushed to a trample. They are trampled upon. And you feel so let down. But I just pursued on it. And so I was successful in selling. Then I started selling Kolhapur chappals.
Oh.
So, yeah, and then saris from Surat and all those kind of things. So this is how, probably to answer your question. So that was my first school of learning was from the street. So today also I call myself, my alma mater is the streets. Though after that, I became, while studying all those things, I became a science graduate in physics. Then I did my MBA in marketing. And then I got my MIMA from Delhi. It's a professional Indian Management Association. And then I got an honorary PhD, a doctorate from American University.
In what?
In marketing.
PhD in marketing?
It's an honorary, yeah. It's an honorary thing, but nonetheless it's there. All these learnings, I've read hundreds of books. I've written a few books like you mentioned. But the learning came from the street. So my suggestion, my thought to your audience would be that if you get an opportunity to do some direct selling, if you get an opportunity to walk on the street, to talk to your end customer directly, to see if you can stand on a retail counter, that will give you immense experience and maturity, plus how to tackle, because end of the day in marketing and sales, you are talking to human beings.
Correct. So you have to understand human psychology.
If you can work on that, it's going to be a great advantage. Super. So, well, that was how I started my sales and marketing. Yeah.
Sir, I also know while meeting you in your office, I also came to know that you have personally met Dhirubhai Ambani. So, how was that experience? What was the learning from that experience?
Oh my God. Okay, fair enough. So, for that, I need to give a little background. While I was doing this selling, I got an opportunity from Sarda's.
Okay.
Sarda is a group textile house in Ahmednagar.
Okay.
And they had the distributorship for Vimal fabrics.
Okay.
Vimal had just entered into India, and so they were the wholesalers. So looking at my door-to-door experience and that I could sell things, Sardas offered me the opportunity to market Vimal suitings, Vimal saris in Pune district and around wherever I can go.
Okay.
So from B2C, where I was going from door to door selling these things, now I got an opportunity of going door to door, but in shops. So Lakshmi Road and MG Road and all those kind of thing, going to the shops and showing them the samples and laying out the samples and trying to sell these things. Now, while that was happening, I had the opportunity to attend a dealers conference of Vimal.
Okay.
Wherein Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani, who had also just, I think, started Vimal in the factory in Naroda.
Okay.
So we had gone there, and in a very close group, we had a chat. And he was just telling us about all the thing. So two things that struck me, immensely, as to how this person thinks, his vision. Okay, those days also he was like not what we see Ambani Group today.
Correct.
Those days also it was beginning, it was his struggle. Also, he also started very, very humbly.
Correct.
So his thought was, even with that kind of a humble background, he said to us that sometimes he spoke in Gujarati, sometimes in Hindi. He said, "आप माल कैसा बेच रहे हो?" Says, "Sir, we going and say that." वैसा मत करो.
अच्छा.
आपके गांव में जो होटल है, होटल का रूम बुक करो. और जो सबसे बढ़िया होटल है, those days remember Blue Diamond used to be in Pune. तो वो आप बुक करो, वहाँ पे आपके सैंपल लगाओ और डीलर्स को इनवाइट करो. आपके पास उनको आने के लिए इनवाइट करो, उनको वहाँ पे सैंपल दिखाओ, उनको खाना खिलाओ, अच्छा ट्रीटमेंट उनको दो, बिकॉज उनको ये लगने दो कि आप कोई चालू कंपनी नहीं है. That was number one. So see, his thought, like, so that changed. Now having these conferences has become very common everywhere. I mean, we do all that, but it was the beginning of those thoughts. Second thing is that when you're traveling, अगर उस गांव में एयरपोर्ट है तो ट्रेन मत लो.
अच्छा, ओह सुपर थॉट.
I mean, थॉट मतलब अच्छा ये नहीं कि आपको जो पैसे उड़ाने वैसे बात नहीं, बट यू आर एम्बेसडर ऑफ दैट कंपनी. तो जिसका सेल्समैन, जिसके टीम अगर एयरपोर्ट है तो फ्लाइट से जा रही है, अच्छे होटल में रुक के लोगों को बुला रही है, तो कुछ तो भी उसका इंप्रेशन एक पॉजिटिव ब्रांडिंग प्लस पॉजिटिव वाइब्रेशन, एक वाइब. अब डीलर के हिसाब से सोचो, कभी उन्होंने ऐसे देखा नहीं था तो उनको लगता होगा नहीं यार इस कंपनी में कुछ दम है, कंपनी में दम है, प्रोडक्ट में दम है. सो दिस थिंग्स लाइक समहाउ बात बहुत छोटी थी, बट इट मेड अ वेरी लास्टिंग इंप्रेशन ऑन मी कि सोच कैसे. उसके बाद तो एवरीबॉडी नोज टुडे कि व्हाट धीरूभाई डिड और कहां से कहां चले गए, बट वो विजन जो था,
I mean, so that is what actually made Dhirubhai his mindset, vision
और करने के. I think one of the greatest entrepreneurs.
Correct.
There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
He had his own ways of doing things, of tackling politicians, of tackling bureaucracy. Not everybody can do that.
Agreed.
But entrepreneurship तो 100% थी, उसमें कोई सवाल ही नहीं है.
Sir, what motivated you to start the hoarding business?
Okay, now इधर दिनेश जी मैं आपको एक बात बताना चाहूँगा. हम पढ़ते हैं opportunity knocks.
Correct.
या opportunity comes in disguised forms also.
Correct.
Sometimes opportunity is thrown at you.
Wow.
हुआ क्या था? I used to go to Ahmednagar to get this Vimal samples and all those kind of things. In one of my meetings, few executives from Vimal had come to Ahmednagar, and while they were discussing, they realized that what came to my ear was that they wanted to expand in Maharashtra per se, in rural Maharashtra, in all B towns, and they were looking for a hoarding contractor.
Okay, the one who can install the
hoarding contractor who can put hoardings at the various district headquarters.
Correct.
And some important taluka places in Maharashtra. And he said, so can you recommend some hoarding contractors? No, I was sitting there, and Sadaji, knowing that probably this guy has some entrepreneurial spirit in him, he said, I think that guy can do.
Wow. Sadaji said to that Vimal
to the executive that probably he will do. So those guys asked me, from what are you doing? So I told him, this is what I'm doing. He said, how can you put up hoardings? What do you know about it? I said, sir, I know nothing. But I think I'll be able to do it. Because in my mind I thought, यार होर्डिंग लगाने में लगता क्या है? 2 पोल लगाना है, बोर्ड लगाना है, पेंट कर दिया, होर्डिंग हो गया, क्या बड़ी बात है? That's what I thought. दूर से सब अच्छा दिखता है, दूर से सब आसान दिखता है, but when you actually get into it, it's too different. It's very very different. They're two different animals. जो है reality और जो हम सोचते हैं, they're two different animals. Chalk and cheese. Absolutely that kind of thing. So he said, okay, somehow the executives felt, they said, okay, काम करो आप 6 होर्डिंग हमारे लिए लगाइए. They gave me some Ahmednagar, Jalna, Beed, and I remember those places. Put up 6 hoardings, and if you do a good job, I'll give Maharashtra to you.
Wow.
Now, talking of opportunity, so this was an opportunity thrown at me. No, it is up to the individual whether to accept that or not.
Correct.
Now there where the entrepreneurial gut at me, नहीं यार एक opportunity बहुत अच्छी है, let us do it. मैं सीख लूँगा, मैं कर लूँगा.
Wow.
That was what I thought, and I came back and I started talking, going, visiting how an hoarding is built. So that time I put up some costing that those days the hoarding to make to put 120 by 10 hoarding would cost 2,000 rupees.
Wow.
And 6 hoarding का काम मिला था. मतलब I needed 12,000 rupees.
Correct.
And I had saved 2,000 rupees while doing all these things.
Okay.
I asked my mom to stand guarantee in Bank of India
Wow.
to get 10,000 rupees. So 2,000 plus 10,000 ऐसा करके I collected my first capital of 12,000 and built this. अभी hoarding कैसे लगा है? कहाँ लगा है? So that Dinesh, I mean, going back I feel अरे मैंने क्या किया? जो hoarding जो मिस्त्री the carpenters, they are in some vasti somewhere.
Correct.
The painters, they are somewhere. The guys who do the foundation digging, they are in some joints in the evening. It's some शराब की दुकानों में दारू के ठेले पे वो वहाँ पे मिलते हैं.
So you have to interact with the unskilled people to get the job done.
Totally unskilled, and they're available only after sunsets and in these locations. तो वहाँ पे जाके उनको ढूंढ के लाना, उससे काम करवाना, उनके समझ के लेना. They were my teachers. That guy Shankar taught me what foundation is.
Correct.
That सुल्तान टालमी की सर सागवान का क्यों लेते हो, सीपीटी लो, वो थोड़ा सस्ता भी पड़ता है और उतना ही मजबूत है. तो लकड़ी के बारे में, पत्रे के बारे में, लोहे के बारे में, फाउंडेशन के बारे में इन लोगों ने सिखाया है. कौन से इंजीनियर के पास गए हम? कौन आर्किटेक्ट था, कौन इंजीनियर था? यही मेरे आर्किटेक्ट और यही मेरे इंजीनियर, उनसे सीखे. So that is how we did it. Somehow, okay, we put this up and the hoardings were up.
Super.
So that's how that opportunity is given. Vimal liked my work. I got the entire contract for Maharashtra. So started putting up hoarding for
So
Vimal.
दोस्तों जैसा आपने देखा, सर became trustworthy. सारदा जी ने भी सर का रेफरेंस इसलिए दिया because you have earned the trust by performing.
Probably.
वरना आज की तारीख में कोई किसी का रेफरेंस देता नहीं. So actually sir has become referable, trustworthy. Then only someone refers. Superb, sir. And then after getting that also, he grabbed the opportunity by performing better, by excelling. जो testing दिया था 6, he excelled at it, and that's how he got the Maharashtra contact. Superb, sir. Superb.
That's right. Yeah.
Sir, after that, you also, other than Vimal, you also got the Vikrant Tyers contract. Something.
Oh, absolutely.
Can you share some light on that?
Sure, that's again a very interesting thing. Those days while I was doing my Vimal thing, I put up some 30-35 hoardings for Vimal in Maharashtra. There was an advertisement in a newspaper for Vikrant Tyers that they're looking for a hoarding contractor for Maharashtra.
Okay.
So the regional office was in Pune. So again, I was a young chap in my scooter. I went to their office and met the manager there, who was the regional manager there, and said, "Sir, this is what I saw your advertisement and I want to do your job." So he said, "What experience have you got?" So I told him, "This is how I started and this are what the contracts for Vimal. I've put up some hoardings for Vimal." Then he said, "But there's a difference between what you did for Vimal and what Vikrant wants to do now. Number one, our hoardings are vertical and they are 21 feet in height with their milestone shape hoarding, if you remember Vikrant Tyers. And two, they are on highways. So how are you going to go to highways, find the locations in highways, all those kind of things?" So I'll tell them, "Sir, I think I'll be able to do it."
Wow. That's self-belief and self-confidence.
Yeah. So, but then again, I like to give credit. I remember the name Mr. Rai. Mr. Rai, somehow he felt that, I don't know why, but probably God has been very kind to me. So he said, "Okay, son," that's his word. "Okay, son, I give you the opportunity. Put up 4 hoardings for me.
Wow.
2 on Mumbai-Pune road and 2 on Pune-Ahmednagar road." Achha, why this road? Because it was easy for him to monitor.
Correct.
For him
Easy
to monitor.
huh?
Because he keeps traveling on these places.
Correct.
So he'll know that. So I said, fair enough. Now that again was a challenge for me. Now how do I reach that location highway? So I traveled in trucks.
Okay.
I didn't have a vehicle of my own. On two-wheeler you cannot go on highways. So what I used to do is that, and bus ST, the state transport wouldn't stop anywhere.
On that.
So what I used to do is that, I used to, hail the truck, sit on the truck seat and go in. And if I like some good corner, I know this is a good location hoarding, I'll ask the truck driver to wait, get down, wish him bye, and then negotiate who the farmer is, locations and some of those things, take another truck and go to the next locations. Entire Maharashtra, I did in trucks after getting the contract. I got those 4 hoardings, the guys were happy. So Vikrant Tyre was offered to me. somehow, so Vimal came in, Vikrant came in, and by that time I had about 80 hoardings with me.
Wow.
And honestly, Dinesh, I was making good money.
Super. And at that point of time, that much money is really
It was good money. Hoardings, to be honest, those days, it's not a very luxurious business. I mean, where people don't look up at you, ki, wow, hoarding wala hai. End of the day, you're hoarding
You're getting,
contractor.
sir, more important is experience, maturity, how business is done,
Probably.
how you are learning.
Probably.
One more thing, I think I remember you said you didn't know how to install such big hoardings.
Right.
So you actually contacted some of your friend and he actually told कि इस ऐसे
Right.
करते
Because
हैं.
he said if you want to go up and if you are being highway, so the wind velocity will be high there. So you just can't do and put two pillars.
Correct.
So then he taught about what the troughs and trust is and how you have to put those angles. Instead of using two girders, use angles and all those. He was an engineer, so he taught me all those things. Thanks to him, it was
Correct.
it was
So guys,
possible.
whenever an opportunity knocks, even if you don't know, but if you know a bit about that industry, say yes and then learn things in the journey. जैसे सर ने जर्नी में सब कुछ सीखा, लेकिन वो सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस और सेल्फ बिलीफ हम में होना चाहिए. Yes, I am willing to learn. That is something
I
which
think
I
so.
believe is important.
I
that
think so.
self belief.
Yeah, I think so because when you take this opportunity, worst case scenario, what's going to happen? You will fail.
Correct.
So even in failure, there is learning.
There is a learning.
So you'll do something, so you won't repeat that mistake again.
Correct.
And in any case, you didn't have that work on hand. So नहीं success हुआ तो ठीक है चला गया.
Correct.
So that's it. So that you have to take as an entrepreneur. I think you will have to take that risk, and you'll have to have that self-belief in you. You have to have that confidence in you that yes, I will do it. मैं करूँगा.
Super.
That's how it happens. Yeah.
Sir, after that, I think you shifted from hoarding business to complete new advertising business. How did that transition happen?
Okay.
Generally, क्या होता है, लोग एक चीज करते हैं ना, people don't like to change because change requires going out of comfort zone, learning new things. So how did you change the industry completely?
Right. Now I have the Vimal hoardings with me.
Correct.
I had Vikrant hoardings with me.
Correct.
Plus I put some hoardings of my own. Now when the contract got over, the hoardings were vacant. Now vacant hoarding is dangerous.
Correct.
Because all your expenses are on,
Correct.
the rentals, everything is on, but there is no
Revenue
income,
is gone.
no
Yes.
revenue. So now what do I do with the blank hoardings? So I started going to Mumbai and visiting advertising agencies to see if I can sell the hoardings to them.
Okay.
And that was a nightmare. Plush offices.
Yeah.
I mean, all these years I was down to what normal office? No offices. I mean, we were like on the streets all the time. And now suddenly you are to sell your stuff. You're going into like office in a Nariman Point and all those. And then advertising agency office plush. I mean, the golden era of advertising.
Okay.
I mean, I remember the name Lintas and Hindustan Thompson and Ogilvy and all this kind, going there, trying to go there, trying to meet their media managers. And tell you what, Dinesh, I was never successful in selling a single hoarding to these people.
Oh.
I don't know why. I was never successful. I was just pushed around. Now I used to go from Pune to Mumbai, take the Deccan Queen in the morning, and the Deccan Queen used to leave at 5 back here. So I had that limited time from 11 to 5. Now when I go there, you sit in an office and they said, okay, you are from Pune. What do you do? I'm a hoarding contractor. No, hoarding media, we meet only on Tuesdays. Fair enough. I mean, every own com. Okay, media manager is busy today, but you meet so and so. But moral of the story,
No business.
no business. But what happened was, sitting in the reception, I used to look around.
Correct.
And the feeling which I got was, boy, nobody seems to work here. Everybody seems to be enjoying life. Music chal raha hai, offices hai, and people are going with the coffee mugs and gappe. And I said, yeah, this seems to be a good line to be in. कोई काम करते हुए दिख नहीं रहा है, and everybody is successful and looks like there's big money into this. Honestly, that's what I thought.
Correct.
And then I said that why not start an advertising agency?
Oh. That was
So I came back to Pune and decided that in 1983 that I will start an advertising agency.
super.
So 5th November 1983, Diwali, I announced my advertising agency.
Classic.
No experience whatsoever. Don't know how media works. Don't know how to create advertising. Didn't know anything about it. But I jumped into it.
करना है.
Bas, that's it.
So guys, as he said that he was not successful in selling hoarding, but when you observe things, failure में भी कुछ learning होता है. And he
100%.
realized that, oh yeah, I can do advertising business also. Super.
I thought I will do it, and I started. And मुझे लगता है कि ठीक office है ना, so I converted my living room into an office, and that became an
So
office.
sir, can you share some advertising journey or some successes from that journey of advertising?
Oh yeah, plenty. I mean, like I said,
Few.
Oh yeah. God has been very kind to me on that. I could find good people, so good creative people who worked for me, and then again back to my godfather Sada.
Acha.
They gave me an opportunity to create newspaper advertisements for them.
Okay.
How, why, again there's a long story, I won't go into that. It was a challenge thrown up at me that you look after the Aurangabad market, my other agency, the existing agency will look after the Pune market, and between Dussehra and Diwali you do 4 ads, he will do 4 ads, and the campaign which works well and which does good will get our campaign. Thankfully, my campaign did well. Not only that, but my very first ad which I created in my life got an advertising creative award.
Wow, super.
For that line, and full credit goes to the team, the creative team which I could build.
Yes.
That creative person who worked for me, and from there, it was just, it just went off.
Super.
So from Ahmednagar, I got different clients, and came back to Pune, got clients in Pune. And during those years, so from 1983 all the way till about 5 years ago, where I was actively involved in my agency, I built, many brands, had the opportunity of working closely with many businesses, which also taught me a lot of things.
Super.
To mention few of the things, I was instrumental in, I worked with, I launched Indian Express, I launched Hallmark cards, I launched Kinetic Luna, then Kinetic Honda, then the Videocon audio, and then in political BJP, I did one Lok Sabha for BJP, I did 2 Vidhan Sabha for BJP campaigns. Then in the retail segment, I in Pune, then Jain Collections and Wama and Silai and Balaram Market.
Bharat Woolen also.
No, Bharat Woolen I sold. I sold them Vimal Fabrics, if you remember those days. Yeah, so all these people during my Vimal days, I used to.
They were your vendors.
They were my customers.
Customers.
They were my customers. So yeah, and it went off well. And then during my advertising days, I created a lot of new creative concepts, new marketing concepts, and that time when I started talking about this direct marketing. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So then, how did your journey transition from now advertising to direct marketing?
Okay. Yeah, like you see, like someone who's your audience might feel, yaar, ye kya kar raha hai, yaar, ye kar. But let me tell you, there's a thread. Though the businesses appear to be different, but there's a thread,
Correct.
an opportunity. There's a link which got me into that.
Yes.
So outdoor advertising to mainstream advertising to direct marketing to other things. There was a link there.
Yes.
So what happened, during my advertising and marketing days, I was associated with Symbiosis, and also just for your record's sake, I was on the governing council of Indian Institute of Management.
Wow.
and Symbiosis Institute of Journalism and Communication.
Okay.
I was on the board of studies, so I designed their courses, and I had the opportunity of addressing MBA students there during that my sessions, my tenure with Symbiosis, and right. So those days I'm going back 1988, 87, 88. And I started talking about opportunities in direct marketing.
Okay.
Because while I was doing my advertising, I created a lot of concepts which were like getting some good results on direct marketing. So I thought, why not I let my students know about
What
it.
is direct marketing?
Direct marketing, how it can work in India. One of the students stood up and said, no, sir. Direct marketing is not, this is a Western concept. is not going to work in India. And it's very easy to say, it's very easy to become a consultant, but walk the talk
It's difficult.
is very difficult. It hit me very badly. I said, that guy has a point. Now, how do I prove that direct marketing
Works.
can actually work? So I went back to the drawing board. Okay, what is it that I can market, which is difficult to go into direct marketing, but yet it can set an example.
Okay.
So in 1988-89, after much banging all around the place, I thought of marketing fruit.
Wow.
Then fruit, which fruit? Research brought me to mangoes.
Okay.
The mangoes, which mangoes? The Alfonso mangoes. And to do this, let me tell you, friends, I spent 3 months in agricultural university learning about fruit, about mangoes.
Okay.
What I mean to say is that if you get into it thick,
Become good
deep.
at it.
Go into it deep.
Correct.
Know
Research.
everything about it, what you need to know, because end of the day, from there you can find USP which you can put in front of the market,
Correct.
which can become a selling feature.
Correct.
We'll talk about that some other time. So this is how. So I came down to Alfonso mango. Now, which Alfonso mangoes? Okay, from Ratnagiri and Devgarh. Now Ratnagiri, Devgarh is big. Which? Those mangoes which are within 7 kilometers from the seashore. Why? Because that sea breeze and that salty breeze and the red soil will produce the finest aroma for Alfonso mangoes.
Wow.
So I picked those
So much
mangoes.
detailing.
Yeah, so then I got those mangoes and I packed them. And then I converted. That, Dinesh, I think, we'll talk about this detail in some other podcast of yours, where how can you brand a product? How can you make negatives into positives? How you can deposition a product and sell it.
Super.
That's a different
Definitely,
thing.
sir. We'll do a series of sessions.
We can talk
Looking
about
forward for
it.
that.
So anyway, so what I did was this Alfonso mangoes. I packed it as a gift box, and then I thought of selling it. Now, how do you sell Alfonso mangoes? You normally go in those. I'm going back 89.
89, correct.
So here I used to write postcards because those are online wasn't there, and then send mailer. And remember releasing one ad, my first ad for mangoes in India Today in 89, and that ad talking about why not look at my fruit as a corporate gift.
Wow.
It worked.
Wow.
And why again, like I said,
I think you sold it as a premium also, right? Not at the normal
premium.
price.
Oh, I remember my one of to my overseas customer, though my fruit went up to 4,500 rupees a dozen.
Wow.
But of course, that was not all profit. The transportation, the packaging,
cost,
the courier cost, and all those kind of things.
Having that mindset that I can sell mangoes at 4,500 in 1989, it's a big thinking.
Yeah, in India though it was 600 rupees those days. But I'm talking of overseas. So still it was like 5 times than the market price. But then why? I think we'll cover that in some other session as to how you can price your product so high and then sell it. So that's
a
again
marketing thing which we are going to learn in our further one-to-one session with Prakash sir.
Hopefully, let's see if the opportunity comes by. So that got me into direct marketing, which proved a point. And then while doing the direct marketing, I built again, probably for the first time, which happened, through my students, I went door to door in Pune's 55,000 homes and built a psycho-demographic list of what the ownership, वो क्या खाते हैं, वो क्या पीते हैं, वो कैसा घूमते हैं, all those kind of things. Now, those days, it was possible to walk into society, into home and do the list.
Correct.
Interestingly, one of my boys spent a day in a jail.
Oh.
Now, what happened is that while we were collecting this information, one of the guy complained to the police station. Someone is collecting this information, so probably they are planning to put some robbery. Because now they know fridge hai, VCR hai, और television hai, itna income hai, so probably something right. And that police station called that boy there and put him there. And his boy said, no, I'm just doing market research, all this thing. He said, Malak, who is the Malak? They called me to the Parvati police station. And I said, then I told the officer there, sir, this is just a database we are building. We are all students. I am a marketing person. somehow like that idea. I said, okay, pan baba, sammalun kara. I don't know how many people understand Marathi, but like be very careful.
Correct.
Now, of course, there is no way you can walk into home and collect all this information.
Correct.
So with this database of information, I marketed various products through direct marketing.
Correct.
From books to washing machines to travel to everything was a market. Through that booklet, I created a booklet and mailed this booklet to 55,000 homes.
Wow.
And that created a lot of... Oh, there are a lot of creative concepts which you did, probably we'll cover it some other time.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's got into my direct marketing. That's
So you
right.
also ventured into online initiative after this advertising business. So what was that initiative, online initiative?
Okay, now why in advertising, online was just picking up, and I felt that this is one area where if we can focus, this will have a tremendous future. Online advertising and all those kind of things. So in 98,
Okay.
I built a product called rupeesaver.com.
Wow. Okay. 98.
98, which is what now almost 25 years ago.
26 years.
Amazon and eBay came in much later.
Much
What
later.
Amazon did, I did that in 1998. The concept of rupeesaver.com, it was featured in India Today as the best consumer site ever produced.
Wow.
And I was on the cover of India Today and Business India
Wow,
for that thought,
superb.
thought of rupeesaver.com. The concept of rupeesaver.com was very simple, where dealers were asked to put whatever products they had and the price to it and offer it on my website.
Correct.
Now my engine which I built did a reverse auction.
Okay.
So amongst all the dealers who quoted the lowest for that particular model, his name would show up.
Sure.
And then that customer could go to his shop and buy.
Fine. So simple.
Yeah, those days my interest was zero. I wouldn't charge anybody because I just wanted to build
Correct.
it. So eventually plan was, because I knew customers won't pay, so the dealers would pay me a subscription fee per product to come onto my website.
Correct.
That was my model in mind. That concept worked
Picked up
phenomenally well with consumers, but not with dealers.
Okay.
Now dealers suddenly made a union.
Oh.
ये तो साइट हमारा धंधा बंद कर देगी.
अच्छा.
And there was actually a furor, there was a morcha of this electronic, all these guys coming together and said, ban rupee saver. Oh, I remember those nightmares. But anyway, all said and done, while it was happening, I got valued those days for 200 crores.
Wow. 200 crores.
Yeah, and I got an offer for 20%.
20%.
And so I said yes. So with that offer in mind, 20%, with that, I started building that product and made more aggressive. Plus I created 2 more B2B onto that. And I became very aggressive with my expansion. So I put in 65 people across the country for this product. Then whatever saving, I had made a lot of money in my advertising also. So all that savings money, plus I borrowed money because it was a big project.
Correct.
And we hope that everything will work on, and all happened. And Dinesh, in 2000, .com burst.
Wow. Everything gone.
The investor backed out. But by that time, I was 1 crore and 65 lakh rupees in debt. So in 2000, so the first zero was in 1972. Second zero in 2000. And zero like how? Like going there.
Negative.
And straight fall. Straight fall.
Whatever you have learned in advertising industry, everything gone.
All money gone. So now what do we do? I have got people there and all this kind of thing. So I had those designers to do the multimedia things we used to do and all those things in WebSource Technologies was the name of my company, wherein I built this brand rupeesaver.com. So eventually at 2000, that rupeesaver.com, there was no money to do anything. So like all the .com days, I also had an opportunity to say, sorry investors, sorry friends, I lost everything, I can't retain your money, मेरे को माफ कर दो. That is what I could do. But somehow दिल नहीं माना, बोला नहीं यार, I mean this is not done. I mean morally yes, they put in money in the equity, so they had no right to ask for it. Correct. Because end of the day it was equity, was not debt.
It was not debt.
But for me it was a debt.
Correct. Ethically you are feeling कि यार
नहीं यार, और my friends, my relatives, उनको क्या मुंह दिखाऊंगा ना उनको. I said okay, let's reinvent the whole thing again. So I started marketing my design services, multimedia services. India में इसका market नहीं है, so I started going to UK and Australia to build the market. So I was able to sell something to meet my bills. Only this much. Was not making enough money. In London, while trying to sell, again, how opportunity comes and how you pick up those opportunities.
Again, observing skills.
Whatever you call it. So while talking to a travel agent, while I wanted to build this website, I realized that they have problems to book hotels.
Correct.
Problems in the sense because those days internet was just happening, and hotels were giving this winter books and summer books. They used to come with this two lot, and this travel agent used to refer to the books. So if a customer comes to them, they will look at the book. Okay, ये Switzerland में ये hotel ये price ये चाहिए क्या? The customer says ठीक है, I like to. Then he used to send an email to them or call them up and do that. So all this was time consuming, and by the time they came here, the customer changed his mind, or by the time the customer said yes, the hotel is booked. So it was a pain. So I decided, can we do something? Can we build something for this person where his life will become easy to sell hotels? That was the thought which came to my mind from that little problem which I saw.
Correct.
Moving around in London and doing some research, I came across a software company who were like cats. I mean, people working, they're all from Cambridge and Oxford.
Wow.
And those days they used to charge £850 per man day.
Per man day?
Yeah. I mean, they were cats. They were like super good.
Pounds means if you multiply 850.
Those days it was, I think, today is 105.
85 to 90,000 rupees.
Per day. Per day. Per person.
Per person.
Yeah, that was the thing they were charging because they were working for British Airways. They were working for Microsoft.
The best of companies.
They were writing software for these guys.
Okay.
So they had a product which I know, if tweaked up properly, this thing can work it out. Okay. So I named one of the owners, Mr. Dan Shavik. I mean, thanks to him because I'm mentioning this because I owe it to him.
Okay.
So I went and I told them, this is what the product which you have and this is how I want to do it. And I said, fair enough. And they quoted a price.
Which might be very big.
I mean, forget about it. It was in like millions, pounds.
Millions of pounds.
Yeah, not millions of pounds, but million pounds. Yeah. I said, look, Dan, I don't have that kind of money.
Okay.
But I know this concept is very well, and I have the confidence of going and selling this globally.
Okay.
Not only in London.
Globally.
But I can take this globally because I have moved into Australia. I was traveling in India. I was traveling in United States. I was traveling in London. So I knew the little markets. I knew the streets that I would be able to go and work it out there. So I told him, Dan, give me this product free of cost.
Oh.
But every booking that I make using your system, I will pay you a fee.
Okay.
He said, Prakash, why do I need to do this? Because that's not a business. I'm not into that business. I'm basically selling my software. Buy my software, that's it. Oh, I had chats and discuss and again, little drama, little theater, little emotion and all this kind of thing I brought into the table. Friends, that's important when you're going on the field. This little...
Jugaad. This is called jugaad.
Not jugaad, but that that you have to, that guy in front of you should feel involved about the business. कि नहीं यार ये सही में कुछ करना चाहता है. Let me see if I can help you. If you can put that thing across, probably you'll get a little soft corner.
Okay.
Little soft corner. So probably I think in the meeting I created soft comment. He said, okay, Prakash, I will do it. And like all Britishers, he drew up a thick contract.
Okay.
What, the IP, the rights and blah, 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 what will happen, what will happen. One point I thought of putting it in was that if this becomes successful, then I need the option to buy it. Nahi to jindagi bhar I can't go on guy giving that. It will be huge use for him. But I need to be fair to him also. So I told him, Dan, let's do one thing. Give me an option anytime in the future to buy it.
Correct.
The IP rights. He said, okay, absolutely no problem. 6 months sales, average, multiply that by 6. Anytime in the future, that will be our formula.
Wow. 6 months sales into 6. Wow.
That will be my formula. I said, okay, done. And got the system, we ticked on it, and that concept of roomsxml.com.
Correct. That company came into
Germany, that's the brand. Company was WebSource Technologies. So the Rooms XML came into being. Went off very well. Then I had my partners and associate in London, in Australia, and things started really picking up. And because I was the first one in the world for this concept.
Correct.
Where pulling is, I mean, we'll talk about this product again separately as to what this product does. And so one fine morning when I thought everything fine, I went, okay, Dan, I'd like to buy it.
Wow.
So it was a big project, some
Millions.
couple of millions pounds paid, got that system, got the IP rights, and started working on the product again. So in 2010, this became a brilliant product. By the time both my sons had come into the business, they were helping me right when they were in 12th standard. Like I started early in 8. So even my son started on because they were the commerce graduate, they did their MBA, and I pulled them into business ki yaar dekho kaisa chal raha hai, dekho, see the opportunity, building the next generation.
Correct.
And again, like God has been kind to me, they're very intelligent guys, very studious, I mean, into it, highly focused. This is what the board said, highly focused in what they're doing. They were a big support to me, and they started building the products.
Correct.
So in 2010, we went all out with the product.
Super.
All this kind of thing. And then we rebranded. So today what you mentioned, that 1,600 comb. So Stuba we changed. So in 2016-17, we had an opportunity to buy a similar product like us, who was very strong in England.
Acha, so you bought that.
So we merged.
Merged.
We merged that, and then we rebranded Rooms XML at Stuba.
Okay.
So
Stuba already existed.
Stuba didn't exist.
Okay.
It was a different brand. So Rooms XML. So having two different brand so Rooms XML in this market, and that the other brand in the other market will confuse a travel agent. So we decided let us forget about other thing, and we created one common brand called Stuba. And then Stuba went all out since 17. The rest is history.
Super.
So now we reached that kind of sign, and we don't own anybody any money.
Correct. Zero debt.
Like a zero debt and that kind of numbers.
But then after 2017, 2020 came. So how did you face? Because as far as my knowledge is concerned, travel industry was the worst hit, one of the worst hit.
In COVID, thanks for reminding me that. It was not all hunky-dory. 2019, COVID struck. And in COVID, travel industry was the first to be impacted.
Correct.
Friends, I was here peak, overnight, back to zero. And not zero, negative. By that time, I had over 100 people working for me. Somehow I felt that is not fair of my part to, unfortunately, few of the people we had to let go. But very few people, but they were the most expensive ones.
Okay.
I retained them.
And valuable ones.
Valuable ones, because I know that when we bounce back, when the travel industry comes back again, where will be the people to take us?
Correct.
I need them. I
Right.
need to pay them the salaries. So for 2 years, we did 2 things, friends. First is made sure that all the key people were with me.
Okay.
How do I pay the salaries? I pawned my home.
Mortgage.
I mortgaged my home
Okay.
and took money, big money. I have a bungalow in Sin Society.
Okay.
So I took money from there to make sure that I'm able to pay the salaries. And not only that, in this 1.5, 2 years time, I invested more into the business, developing the product.
Correct.
So
That's attitude.
while my competitors were closing down or they were complacent, they were happy with what they had, I was putting in more money into the business because we have nothing else to do. So everybody was focusing on how to do a good product with the hope that when the travel industry bounces back, this tuba will be the shining star of the industry.
Super.
That happened. It worked. 2 years it was hell for us. Hell for us. I mean, I remember, at that time the family talking to you. I mean, people around looking to you. Arey, what are you doing? Tu ghar tu girvi rakh diya. That kind of thing. But somehow I was convinced. It worked.
Correct.
And travel industry bounced back.
Bounced back really big.
Bounced back like how? And bounced back so big, and we were ready.
Ready. Correct. Because in the COVID, you were learning and improving.
Improving investment in the product, and then it just took off. So to 2019, 20, 21, 22, these numbers you see
Correct.
are the last fiscals.
So as we discussed in the introduction part, the turnover of Sir's company today is 1,600 crores. Because in the COVID, as they had to pay the salary, so they worked on the improving the software part because there was no business. No one was taking hotel rooms.
That's right.
Superb, sir.
That's right.
Great learning.
So that was happened, and well, here we are now.
Sir,
Happy.
as you said, there were many times zero being excellent teachers. So you have faced 1-0 in 1972.
Yeah.
Second was
2000.
.com burst.
Yeah,
And
third-
third was COVID. Right? So you have faced 3 zeros in life. And actually, I'm sure that 3 teachers of yours made you mentally very strong in so that you can face even bigger challenges in life.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned to you, see, many people face zeros. I mean, they are zeros. No, some are always into zeros.
Correct.
But my problem, I was at the peak seeing
then
zero.
zero.
Going at peak, coming back to zero. Going at peak, coming back to zero is painful.
Correct.
And that's when, I mean, you really need something in you to fight back, to bounce back, and to make the best out of it.
Correct.
I mean, that fighting spirit has to be there. So, yeah, and then when in zero, because then you tend to learn.
Sir, can you highlight the mistakes made by entrepreneurs while doing marketing? Few mistakes which you, from your 55 years of experience, what you have learned?
Dinesh, there are plenty.
Okay.
There are plenty
Yes.
which I learned while me going out and doing door to door, while doing advertising for my clients,
Correct.
while mentoring businesses,
Correct.
doing this. I experienced all these things. So there are plenty which I think which are not taught in books, but which actually are mistakes. To just give you just
Few
very
mis-
quick few examples. First, let us start with quality. मेरी क्वालिटी अच्छी है तो बिकेगा. Not true.
Not true.
Quality is not a selling feature. It's a starting point. 1, 2. हिंदुस्तान में माल बेचना है तो सस्ता करो.
Correct.
तो low price will give you more sale.
Not true.
Not true. Not true in the sense that it's not a long-term winning strategy.
Correct.
Till such time you have got deep pockets, this strategy will work. Till such time a new competitor with deeper pocket comes in, you are lost. So this is this. Then, I mean, you are talking of branding. You are talking of, doing too many things. You become successful in one. Then you start, मैं ये भी करूँगा, मैं ये भी करूँगा, मैं ये भी करूँगा. So in marketing, in business, more is less.
Correct.
And less is actually more.
Wow.
So basically, focusing. We tend sometimes, we tend to lose focus. Maybe kar lunga, because I'm successful in one, so I'll be successful in other thing. So I mean, Dinesh will do some sessions on this.
Definitely.
I will actually.
I would love to do that. A series of we planned for the benefit of the audience. Planned series we can.
Yeah, what probably we could do is that we can have actual case studies, which I have undergone.
Wow.
Which we have done.
Really valuable.
Where it could be various things where how negatives can be converted into positives. What happens when you are sharing brands with partners? What happens when is the time to kill a brand? I have known instances where I have killed a brand which were for 45 years in the market. मैंने बंद करने को लगाया. And they are more successful now. So these stories, I think, we'll pick it up some other time.
Sir, you have 2,000 books in your office and you're at your house. So I'm sure you know that reading is one of the best habit. Today's readers are tomorrow's leaders. We know this. Sir, can you suggest few books to our audience which, if they read, they can master marketing and sales, which is your forte, branding?
Right, there are many, but immediately that comes to my mind and my favorite authors, and which I worship these books. One is Marketing Warfare by Jack Trout and Al Rice, and their series. I mean, I suggest Marketing Warfare, then Focus, and Differentiate or Die. Differentiate or die. So these things, in very simple way, they'll able to tell you. Then the Purple Cow by Seth Godin. So these things are like, they're very, very good reads, and they're actually, you must actually worship these books.
Correct.
If you're really keen in penetrating and reaching the audience, in reaching the market.
Super.
Yeah.
So can you tell us something about your social foundation, social initiatives which you do?
Dinesh, this is just a beginning for me. Like I said, God has been very kind, and my family and me have now created a fund.
Okay.
And specific for doing something to giving it back. But we are very specific. I don't want to talk big numbers. But beginning April, we'll have funds with us, wherein we have specifically two things in mind. Basically, to help in education. And help in medical.
Okay.
So, any needy, we find that there's a spark in some student, and where money is keeping away from them to be buying books or paying the tuition fees or going somewhere for studies, I like to help them.
Wow.
Medical facilities, if someone thinks there's a need of medical help. I know there are many organizations are doing it, and I'm no big deal. But whatever, like what we say in Marathi, khairisa wata. If I can do that, it will give me some happiness.
Correct.
So that's about it. So I don't really want to talk much about it, but heart of heart, I feel that if I can give back to the society, why not? Talking of social foundation, I mean, something which I think I did in the past was, I'm interested in photography. So once in 4 to 5 years, I hold exhibitions of my photographs. And these are all for charity.
Wow.
So I work for, I've raised quite a sum for the Srivatsa, which is an orphanage of Sassoon hospitals.
Okay.
So I had 2 exhibitions in Jahangir Art Gallery, 2 exhibitions in Bal Gandharva, then one in Sholapur and other places. So where I feel that, this is my way of contributing. But by this foundation now, with this Manson's Foundation, what we call, I think I like to formalize that arrangement and do some and give it back to the society.
Sir, as you have officially retired from the active role in Stuba, and now you will be actively helping entrepreneurs to build their business, to build their brand, to help them in marketing and sales. So if someone wants to reach you, how can they reach you? Definitely we will be showing it on the...
Okay. Yeah, that's the idea, because like again I said, apart from this Bang Foundation, in my personal capacity, if I can help entrepreneurs and startups and established businesses who are like facing some challenges, wherein my experience can come help to them, I surely would like to help them. So yes, but it will be partly professionally also, because and it will be where my experience can be put to use. And what I can do is that they can come onto my website. consulting at prakashbang.com. They can send me an email. What I'll do, Dinesh, I'll send you these details to you.
Correct.
You can put this on that site. So where somebody is interested, either they can reach with you. And
in the description of this video, YouTube video, guys, you can see all the links of.
You can do that. Plus, probably I can also do, if they want to come out there from your side, I'll give you one of the books of mine, which feel free to share with your audience.
Sure. So I think my 2 cents.
My 2 cents worth I'll give to you.
So sir is really humble. He is giving his one book out of the 4 books which he has written. My 2 cents, free of cost for all of you guys. So in this the description of this video, you can see the link of the downloadable file.
Yeah, sure, I will do that.
Yes. Okay. So thank you, sir, for coming.
My pleasure.
Guys, we have learned a lot from sir. Most important, if you want reference from people, become referable, earn the trust of people by working hard. And I think whenever some opportunities come in front of you, grab the opportunity and learn how to execute it in the process, right? Sometimes you have to take risks. Sometimes you have to play a bet on yourself. And 3 times, as sir said, he went like from up to down to 0. And again, he bounced back. So guys, life will treat us like this. Life can treat us like this anytime. But there is an opportunity in all of this, and life makes us mature and mentally tough with these scenarios, and these are the ways of life to test us.
Sure.
So thanks a lot, sir, for coming and creating value in the life of our audience. It was a pleasure having you over.
The pleasure was all mine, and thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity, and hope I'm able to be of help to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.